What's up, everybody? Chris Jacobs for Griot's Garage and another episode of Cars We Can't Sell. Right now I'm driving a 1958 Fiat Jolly powered by an inline-4 putting out a whopping 28 horsepower. But these cars aren't about performance, they're about style and rarity. Only 200 were initially commissioned by Fiat to be produced by Griot, and only 100 of those still remain. So yeah, rare. It's a very polarizing car. Some love it, some hate it. Let's find out why from the two guys who know this car the best, Richard and Nick Griot.
I love
hate it.
What? Are you kidding me?
This is my least favorite car in the collection, and why you don't have heroes or never meet them, because this pink monstrosity shattered my perception of you as a race car driving car enthusiast.
This is like one of the studliest cars ever made. John Wayne had one. Grace Kelly drove one. Lyndon B. Johnson drove one.
Yeah, those are all relevant names to me.
John Wayne, you've never seen a John Wayne picture?
Probably not, but
Yeah.
Lyndon B. Johnson, I guess that rings a bell.
The only reason why you end up with, a car like this is you're at an auction. You have just purchased a very high dollar Ferrari, and your wife is like, sitting next to you going, what about me? And so Jollies are always at the end of the auction. You get the little sidekick and you go, well, okay, I guess I have to buy a Jolly now. So that's how you end up with Jollies at an auction. And this particular one was an original owner, had the original floors and everything else. And I got a little sidetracked. I didn't buy the Ferrari, right at the beginning, but I did buy this at the end.
Yeah, there's probably some alcohol involved as well, so.
I try not to drink during an auction, you know that.
No, I mean, I understand the strategy, and obviously you used to come to it and happy wife, happy life.
Yes, and the whole thing about living this life was a lie when I actually restored the car, because we got engaged. I called up Forrest down, at Griot's Motors, and I said, hey, we need this car within 8 months, totally restored. It's got to be top secret. She can't even know.
Yeah, and we all had to live that life for you, including some of our biggest customers who would eat dinner at your house and would
Yes.
see the car and like it, whether they were male or female. They were intrigued because we were restoring it right in the back of our headquarters where we'd have our meetings. And they would all have to lie to your future wife about what car we were restoring or working on, to the point where she wasn't even allowed in the building, right? You'd run boxes out to her while this was going on. And yeah, to your point, it was original owner, but it was an original turd as well. It had so much Bondo on the car that we had to take it to a remote facility to sand it all off, and then discovered, the floorboards were replaced, and every time they were getting smaller and smaller. So it's a pretty fantastic restoration for sure. But I still never really saw what was special about it. But
I don't think you're seeing what is so special about it. It looks very unsafe that you could be just T-boned and, put to the next, planet. But the people in the back, if they were sitting in the back and you got in a head-on crash, these seats would lift out so it would eject the front passengers up and over the windshield, and they'd be totally safe.
yeah, I'm sure John Wayne would want the headline of "Dead and Pink Fiat" on the Italian coast. But they're unique, right? I mean, I'll give you credit for that. The Fiat 500 was a wildly successful platform. This one being a 600, there's less than 100 of them known on planet Earth right now.
Yeah.
And yet it's probably one of the nicest on planet Earth. So all those famous folks aside, it's a great restoration for sure. But it was kind of always still kind of hoity-toity car. I mean, you'd think like, okay, it's a Fiat. Not a lot of them exist, but they were designed for, predating golf carts, right? I mean, they were put on people's boats. A lot of them did rust out because they were probably made with repurposed German tank steel that was still in Italy in the 60s. And I fixed it up, and still doesn't do a lot for me. But yeah, I'd love to meet my end in this car or be caught dead in it. In fact, one of the first times he paraded me out in it was for a cover that we will never live down. And there's 4 of us in Hawaiian shirts.
But you have to understand, if you were to drive this car through town, Do you realize how many girls would be just like running after you, just going, hey, hey, what's your name? Why are
Yeah.
you, oh, this is the cutest car ever.
Sounds like
Can I get in the back?
profile in courage, if you ask me. But no, I don't really ever want to be caught driving this thing. That first photo was great. It was a Father's Day cover, so I did it for you, and I've never lived it down, never will. And unfortunately, this thing is still here, and this is probably the best looking it will ever be. You've got that foo-foo top that has a bunch of frizz and flare and a starfish pattern. I mean, this is a SpongeBob SquarePants car with the top on. So
What?
topless, most things are better. This car is better without a top.
The only reason why you don't like the top on it is because the little stuff like gets in your mouth and you have to spit it out while you're driving. I've seen that. But that's part of the flair with the trim. I mean, it's like all around your eyes.
Yeah, it's a great feature that I don't like at all.
So the other thing I love about this car is actually driving it. There's no other experience that you have in the entire collection that is any more fun than this. And it's just, it brings smiles to everybody's face. You're enlightening everybody's day as you drive by.
Man, that is a lot of credit for something that makes like 20 horsepower. I think I've never driven this car. I do not prefer to drive this car. There are a million other cars that I would like to drive. And again, that's part of the reason where, like, for somebody that drove Dan Gurney's, Eagle in Monaco and has restored countless cool cars and put a great touch on them, this one just continues to confuse me. I don't know. I mean, there is some other significance to this car that makes it one of the cars we can't sell.
Well, I surprised my future wife. She thought we were going to drive away from church in the Cobra. So I took pictures of the Cobra on the back of the trailer. Hey, don't worry, the Cobra's on the trailer. It's coming up. I've accounted for everything. And sneakily, we had this car like parked, and I just drove down the road honking the horn. She just buckled over in tears. And that one moment was worth the whole entire process of living the lie, as you say.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, that was pretty special for everybody to come together to pull off that much deception, for a good thing. I'm pretty sure that's called a white lie. That was a great moment. I remember standing there. I obviously married you too, and then watched you guys drive away. So that was a cool moment. And there's some pictures of us, you and all three of my siblings. So all five of us in our, grandparents' garden. And as much as I dislike it, it's special. It's going to be forever in Griot's memory. My kids really like it. Unfortunately, I think they're why the battery doesn't work, because they crawl all around it, honk the horn like 20 times before I have to pull them out of it. But that's kind of it. You've got a McLaren race car on one side of the collection, then you've got this Fiat 600 that couldn't do 20 miles an hour.
Every collection needs a Fiat Jolly.
A strong point that nobody believes in.
I think that's why you really love this car, but you hate to love this car.
I definitely do not like this car, but I understand why it's a car we can't sell. I understand why it has a place in here. And again, when we get to show the collection off, we generally have people that run to the McLarens and people that run to the Fiat. So that shows the breadth of the collection. And again, that you have many screws loose and probably can't sell this car.
Do you realize I could have sold this car like 20 times, and every time I call Scarlett and I say, hey, I got a buyer for the car, and she goes, are you out of your mind? It's the only car that we're gonna make money on, sweetheart, because we never make money on anything that we restore, but I finally have a car which I think we can double our money. All I hear is a click.
Yeah, then you're going to McDonald's for dinner that night.
Yeah, no, I stay away for the next 2 weeks. Son, one day your daughter is want to get married in this car, and she's going to want to drive away in the church with a just married sign on the back, and you're going to make her day.
Yeah, if she wants to do that, that is, again, a great special reason. And I know that if whoever she's going to marry doesn't want to do that, then they're okay with me. For all the browbeating I'm giving you relative to this car, I mean, cars in our family have moments and sentiment attached to them. And when we have that whole lead up, even if it started in a weird moment of impulse after white wine and whatever else you guys were consuming. Making it all happen, being a part of your wedding, and just the photos and memories that have been created in this car, it's a car we can't sell.
So will you prove it to me? Will you drive it?
Sure. Pretty much as expected. Pretty disappointed. Best car ever made. Pretty much as expected. Pretty disappointed.
Best car ever made.